In 6 weeks of focused practice, I'm gonna have you putting like a scratch golfer. Today I'm going over the perfect putting practice plan that's gonna help you have confidence whether you're stepping up to an 8-footer or a 50-footer. Now the key to putting like a scratch golfer is getting 2 things down. First off, we gotta be able to get our lag putts close. We gotta work on our distance control and really lock that in. And the second one is our short putts. We've got to be really confident 6 feet and in. So all of these drills that we're going to do today are going to focus on those 2 things, getting good distance control on the lag putts and building a ton of confidence 6 feet and in. Let's jump in. So one of the most important things we can do with putting is build up our confidence for the short putts. This is the 3-foot putting drill. As you can see, I have 5 tees around the hole, each one at 3 feet. It's an annoying drill. It's not the most fun drill to do, but it's gonna make you dead confident with those short putts. Even though we're doing it from 3 feet, this really builds a ton of confidence from 3 to 6 feet because it makes sure you're hitting your line. You're gonna go from tee to tee, just hitting these 3-footers until you've made 25 in a row, and then that drill's complete and we'll move on to the next one.
For me, nothing wrecks my round faster than a mental collapse. And the fastest way to have a mental collapse is to miss a 3-footer. So I love locking these down and feeling real confident with them.
We'll do that until you've made 25 in a row, then we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, drill number 2, very similar to the first drill, except instead of 3 feet from the hole, we're going 6 feet from the hole. And instead of hitting 25 putts in a row, we just wanna get 8 out of 10. Now, when you're starting out with this drill, we're shooting for 8 out of 10. Once you've done it a bit, you're gonna get a lot better, and then you'll go to 9 out of 10. Once you're getting really confident, you can do it until you hit 10 in a row.
Now this distance of 6 feet is one of the biggest differences between a scratch golfer and a high handicap. It's gonna take a little time and a little effort, but once you have these locked in, your scores will plummet.
Oof. Next up, we're gonna do something called the 3 strikes drills. One of my favorites. It's a fun little game. So I've got a tee set up from 3 feet, and to measure that, you're just taking 1 pace from the hole, and then all the way up to 10 feet. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna start with the 3-footer, and then we're gonna putt it. If we make it, we move on to 4 feet. If we miss it, we get a strike. And then 4 feet. If we make it, we move on to 5. If we miss it, we get a strike. 5 feet to 6, etc., so on, so on. Now, if you get 3 strikes, you gotta come back to 3 feet and start the drill over. We're gonna keep doing this until we've completed the drill all the way out to 10 feet. Let's give it a shot.
Now the great thing about this drill is you're really gonna learn to hit your intended line.
There's a strike already at 4. Don't wanna see that.
Because we're just adding 1 foot of distance to the same putt every time. We're learning that line. We're gaining confidence in what the putt is going to do. We're just adding distance to control our lag a little bit. But knowing the line and knowing we have to hit the same line every time is going to give you a lot of confidence in your ability to hit the same line every time. Now, obviously, I got a little lazy here and was not consistently hitting my line. So I start over. I'll admit I was filming, getting lazy, trying to get through it as quick as I could. When you're doing this drill, take the time to line up every putt. If you use line on your ball, use it in all of these drills. It's going to help you learn what your putter does. It's going to help you learn and see whether or not you're hitting your line every time. And it's going to make you a lot better, a lot faster at hitting the intended line.
Probably not going to get on your first try, but it's a good drill to really lock in that line and make sure you're hitting your intended line. All right, that's the 3 strikes drill. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so this next drill is a lag putting drill. And we've got a 3-foot circle laid out with our pink tees here, and we're gonna do 3 different distances. So I'm standing here at 10 paces or 30 feet from the hole, and I'm gonna hit 10 putts. And I gotta get all 10 of them within that 3-foot circle, and then I'm gonna move on to a 40-footer. So we're doing 30-foot, 40-foot, and 50-foot putts. Easiest way to measure 30 feet is 10 paces, 40 feet is about 13 paces, 50 feet, 16 to 17 paces. This is the most important part to really improving your putting, is being able to lag putt to 3 feet, because you've been practicing those 3-footers from that earlier drill. That's gonna make you rock solid on the putting greens. Let's give it a shot.
Now, when you get out to this distance, you're not trying to make your putts. You're just trying to control your distance like we talked about. It's one of the 2 keys to good putting. Don't worry about if it goes in. Worry about getting it within 3 feet.
Now, if this is too easy for you and you need to add a little challenge, see, I messed that one up, so I'd have to start over. But if it's too easy for you, just do 2 balls at a time and then pick a new spot so that you're not hitting the same putt over and over and over again. Now, one of the key parts to controlling your distance on every putt is making sure that you're hitting the sweet spot on the putter on every putt. Because if you miss that sweet spot, it's going to just be a dud and go a lot softer. And that one would have been good, obviously. That's going to help you with your distance control. That's the number one thing you can do to get better at putting. If you want to reach that scratch level of putting, you've got to be able to put those lag putts close. By the way, if you want more free drills delivered to your email inbox every week like these ones that are really going to actually move the needle and make you better at golf, go to thescratchplan.com and sign up for our free weekly email. The link's right here. It's also down in the description. There's free drills, no commitment, and they're the drills that are actually going to move the needle and make you better at golf. Check it out. All right, for the next drill, we're choosing 2 holes about 20 feet apart. Now, these holes are more than 20 feet apart, so I created a pseudo hole in the middle there. You're going to set up a tee on both holes so that one of the tees is 1 foot short and one of the tees is 3 feet past the hole. I'm going to hit 3 putts towards that hole, and I have to stop all 3 balls within the back tee and the front tee. And then I got to come back and do it the same. I got to keep doing that until I've left 10 putts in a row between the 2 tees. 20 feet short enough that you should be able to lock in on your distances. So it's just a little tougher than the other lag putting drill we did from 30, 40, and 50 feet in terms of where you can leave it.
And once again, we're hyper-focused on distance control. Sometimes you still get lucky, but from 20 feet out, you just want to make sure you're not putting yourself in a 3-putt situation. However, because we are a little bit shorter, we do want to make sure we're getting every putt at least to the hole. So we only let ourselves leave it 1 foot short instead of 3 foot short to tighten that window and give us a little more chance of sinking those putts. You still shouldn't expect yourself to make these, but just give it a little more of a chance.
Okay, we missed that window, so we're starting over. Keep doing that until we've made 10 in a row within our window. All right, next up, we've got the intended line split cup drill. This is to make sure that you're very precise on hitting your intended line. That's part of what gives you a lot more confidence on these shorter putts. So we're gonna go to 6 feet. So you're trying to make putts from 6 feet and you're just alternating left side, right side, until you make 5 in a row.
This drill's a toughie, but if you can train yourself to have enough precision to still make putts when there's a tee block in the middle of the cup, that's going to give you a ton of confidence on the golf course to hit your intended lines. It's a tough drill, it's annoying, but it'll pay off.
You need to find a very straight putt for this or else you'll be here all day. It's a very challenging drill, but it gives you a ton of confidence on these short putts hitting your intended line. Highly recommended. Okay, this is the final drill. It's called the Drawback Drill. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna open my app up right here. We're gonna go to putting, drawback game. Hole 1, it says there's 9 holes, first hole is 20 steps. So we're gonna pace off 20 steps.
You might be noticing a trend that a lot of these drills have the ability to really piss you off, but I promise you'll thank me for them.
It's a great lag, almost pin high. But every single putt you hit, before you finish out the hole, you've got to draw the ball back 1 putter length. So instead of giving myself a 2-footer, giving myself a 5-footer. This makes you challenge yourself on every single putt. It's never a gimme, it's never an easy finish. You have to earn all your pars. Okay, so that's a 2. So we pull out the practice app here and we mark down a 2, hit next hole. Hole 2 is 10 steps. So we do the same thing, do all that until we've gone through all 9 holes. All right, that putting routine is gonna take you down to scratch level putting. It doesn't take that long, do that for 6 weeks and you will be remarkably better with your putting game. Thanks for watching, see you next time.